Hey Fibs, so we're back with part two and we're jumping right back into it. So, okay, T. When I think about my hair, right, and I walk into a space, I know some people love fashion and I know some people love their personality to show. But if I'm being 100% honest, my hair is the first thing for me that speaks. That's my first presence, right? And from that perspective, it's also the first thing I see in a woman.
Right.
Right. So be that as it may, right? When I think about the highest way I could serve women, it is in them being represented best, right? Let me give you an example. If I had to think about what was my truest form, I love to wear my hair just like this. Lived in straight. There has to be some form of color on it. Has to be, right? And I good with that. I could do this every day, all day. This is me, right? There are the few days where I want to rock my natural curl pattern or a variation of that, which is where it will be twist out and I living in that and I cool with that, right? Then there's the occasional hairstyling, which is where I have an event to go to. It's like where I had to give them I need to give all of the fullness. I need to show up in all my glory and just stunt on them, right? Which is where now it's like where you curate a hairstyle for whatever the image that you have for yourself in that moment. No. I don't know how intentional everybody is, but I can tell you how intentional I am.
Right.
When I am going to something. Let me give an example. Burna Boy, this is when I was living back in Trinidad. Burna Boy came to Trinidad in December 2022, I think. 2022. In September, me and my partner decided that we're going to this. Listen to me. I went on Pinterest and I found a hairstyle. I find an outfit. I find a makeup look. I find a vibe. And I sat with that vibe knowing this is how I was going to show up in this event. Because the type of fun I wanted to have and the type of conversation Burna and I just have when I listen to his song, he just put me in a vibe. It's like, listen, you cannot speak to me as a Black woman when I'm listening to Burna Boy, okay? Like, there's nobody better. There's nobody better than a Black woman when you're listening to Burna Boy music, right?
Right.
So with that type of intentionality is how I approach most of my events. When I did my hair, did my makeup, put on my clothes and get ready, when I tell you I was feeling like my aura went from my body all the way to out here. So I have big spare.
Right.
You could have feel me coming.
And tell me nothing.
My whole vibe was, listen, I was commanding. You see this square footage over here? Listen, huge. I was a giant. And I bring that up to say that when I am able to match the image that a woman have in her head of herself to who she is in reality, it's almost like if I amplify that woman.
Right.
It's like now she's fully in her essence. Right. And for me, that happens daily, but then it also happens in events. So I like to walk women through their hair in terms of how it's going to look over the next, let's say, 3 months, right? How it's going to look in sequence. And for me, it's like, if I had asked you that question now, right now, okay, T, so over the next 3 months, you have things going on with your life. What do you think your hairstyle is going to be like based on what you're doing? What would that answer to that question be?
At the pace of my life, no. I know I want that same experience of wake up and go. So I think when the color was at the scotch that we talked about, the color adds so much fire and vibrancy that it inspired my days, right? So with that, I wouldn't mind rocking I want to get up with my afro. My hair is that length that I want it to be. I want to do it on a Sunday and see you again on Sunday. Like, you're good. I can sleep in a bonnet and I have this spray thingy. I'm good to go, because I think when I walk into a place, like I walk in looking in this shirt, when I walk into a place, like, and I paint my lips red and I'm walking in like, sir, I don't need lens. You understand what I'm saying? That's not what it is. Because when the essence, because I'm confident that I think knowing that you have a circle, as we were talking about earlier, having a circle of information or a point of information that keeps you continually connected to a source of things. So I know, like, when I had my chiropractor, for example, like, whenever something is at call on a Thursday, he can squeeze me in for a Friday morning because that's exactly what I need. And I think as a Black woman, sometimes you need to be able to have these people at your fingertips because they keep your energy charged, right? And I think for me, as someone who has gone through so many different ways of wearing my hair, from very jet black to like platinum blonde to anything in between, is that when you are confident of where you're getting your information. Like when you said to me, okay, after having my hair colored for so very long, okay, so this is how it's gonna go, right? And this is how you want to wake up every day to go. So I think my days would be better, and I've continued to be increasingly better because I have the know-how in between the time that I see my stylist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like between here and there, this is what you do. So next time you see me, because it's a journey. Like how my hair works now when I'm very stressed versus when it was when I was very up on my game. It's a very different kind of way for in my hair. But I think every day helps when I have the correct information of how to, like, what do I do with the nights when I've gone 2 weeks without wearing my body? Like, what do I do, Shimilia? Like, like, okay, let's do it this way because I can't. I'm too stressed. I'm having 4 hours of sleep. I can't keep up with what I want to get done. But I think if I had the process of being able to go as natural as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting up and my hair is in its curl pattern that's comfortable for me, with a color that I'm really excited about to see every day. Even when it begins to fade, like just the way it's in its most natural state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to tug it. I don't have to do any of those things to it because I love the feel of when I get up into a place, I'm the only one that looks like me. I've always been circle. So when I walk into my hair in my afro, like, yes, I am. I am. I feel no way about it. I feel no way about it. Because on Friday, that's how I wore my hair. I washed my hair and I kind of blew it out. And I found my kids' mushroom hat. And everywhere I went with my hair and my hat, they're like, oh my God, your hair is gorgeous. Like, I know, right? In the most natural way. It wasn't moisturized or anything, but I had to go on the road and just big and poofy with a hat underneath it. And it was fabulous. Yeah. So, but that gave me the confidence because my hair was colored the way I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. That gave me an extra pop and extra confidence. And yeah.
So let's say that, so you're a woman who has many different hats, and that's your day-to-day. As an entrepreneur, let's say you're launching your brand and it's photo shoot day, or it's like you have to do, let's say, a presentation or some form of interview. What is the image of yourself that you would see? What does she look like? What does that Tarji look
like? It's the same thing. I think it would have to be a twist out. It would have to be a twist out. It's not, yeah, it has to be a twist out because I think my confidence is in how I articulate. Mm-hmm. And I think when you see me, you know that I prefer life in this most organic way. You know, like I'm giving to you straight kind of how I speak. So yeah. I want to look the way I'm speaking because I'm giving you as authentic as I know it to be and as close to the truth as I know it to be. So I want to be presented that way. So, but I know in the times when I don't have the capacity to keep doing that every day, I braid my hair in a most natural way of doing stuff, or in like this is a natural hair piece on top.
Right.
And so it has to be in a way that feels closer to home than before every single time. So like I was telling my sister the other day about a photo shoot and she said, how you want to see me? She asked me, how you gonna do your hair? I'm like, ma'am, let me wash it and get it twisted out. Or something about the effect. Or cleaning my hair up in a mohawk and have it twisted out with color. Like do something like that to me. It's like, you don't want, no man, I'm not covering this hair. I'm not covering this hair. Because I know that many women struggle with that because in the corporate space that I was in for such a long time, my natural hair was not cooperating with me at all. Like it was and have my kid ready for school and do all my gyms and then come home after a gym experience, sweaty hair to do my hair to go to work. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But now that my life has taken a different turn where my days are now my responsibility, I want to, because I'm in my view, come back to closer to home. So I'm working from home now. I'm running things in a different kind of way. So if I have autonomy, my hair should have autonomy too. So that's like when you see me with this way, yes, sir. I prefer I prefer it the way you see it. That's how I feel. Like I'm coming closer and closer to what I want to look like and live like and be like. That is why it's so important to, as I said earlier, to connect with people and spaces that always make you feel like you're home. You know, that's important for me.
100%. I love that you say that you're home because, like, when I think about my service week, right? So we talked about this a little bit before, which is where on the first interaction, I do the consultation with you to figure out where you're at with your hair. Then we discover what you're trying to accomplish in this interaction, in this experience, right? So for this service. Then we determine where we go next. So is it that you need to learn how to care for yourself and care for your hair at home? You prefer to come into the salon on a scheduled time so that I could take care of your hair for you? Is it that you need, let's say, like for you, you need hair pieces that custom colored to match whatever we discover was the image that you're looking for, so that you now have all the different assets and tools to essentially be yourself in all of the versions? Because for me, just as textured hair is different, a Black woman shows up differently.
Right.
And she has to have the tools to do that. Right? So let me give you an example. So, like, for instance, I have a client who she essentially has hair like mine, texturized, balayage, same way. And we did custom clippings for her, same color, just longer length, so that she could have her updo, she could go to her gala events, like she could do all of that. A woman with her hair has to be equipped.
Right.
And that's my goal for, let's say, if we ever work for 3 months to 6 months, to a year at a time, whatever the time period. My role is to really give you what you need.
Right.
So that however you have to show up, whenever you have to show up, you have it all laid out. So
Right.
from the products that work best with your hair to the different styling looks that you like. So let's say your afro to your twist up. Maybe you blow it out straight and you have like the textured straight look. Maybe you have a U-part wig for when it is you just need to go on you. Whatever that list of looks are, based on the convenience that you have, based on what your schedule looks like, gym, photo shoot, whatever, you have to have everything that you need. And as a hair care provider, that's one of my biggest goals, is that any woman that work with me for a long period of time is equipped to have it.
Right.
She has to have what she needs to be who she has to be.
Correct.
To show up as she needs to show up. Because I feel like for Black women, it's not just that we don't know about our hair or to care for our hair, it's also that we don't have what we need. Something as simple as, I know a lot of women buy blow dryers, right? And they'll probably buy Connie or they'll probably buy whatever. And honestly, it's the most marketed, so that's what you would go to, that's what you're seeing, so you're thinking that these people know what they want. I was having this conversation with my mother a few days ago. I said, Mommy, I feel like one of my jobs on this lifetime of mine is to let every Black household know the biggest investment you could make in terms of tools for your hair is a hooded dryer.
100%. I know you would say that. I remember when he told me that. I'm like, no. Like, yes. Yes. But we grew, our mothers had one.
Yeah.
And because we have sped up in life, but here, as you said earlier, Black hair is tagged with intentionality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And intentionality means it takes time. Yeah. Hence why in most households where I'm from in Jamaica, Sunday mid-morning to Sunday afternoon is dedicated to combing the black girl's hair.
That's right. That's right.
If we don't have 3 hours, next week we do it. Because you're not doing it at school. You're not doing it before you go to school. It has to be a chunk of get up. If you're not doing church, you're doing laundry, you're doing cleaning. So this, okay, let's wash your hair. And your mom has nothing else to do but do your hair. Mm-hmm. And she's taking her time because she knows after she washes it, detangles it, conditions it. Okay, let's find a style that would work. And she's not. And then if your hair is permed, you got to set it. Yeah. And go on the dryer and sleep with it. Yeah. Because it takes that amount of time. Yeah. And your mom makes time for that. Yeah. She won't touch that at a time when she ain't got no time because she knows it's gonna take time to get done. Yeah. Why have we changed from that? Our hair has not forgotten that story. It has not. So this quick to do, so you find out what I would need. To your question, what I would need is the same process in a home kit. Like, yeah. When you gave me these are the products you need for your hair. Yeah. And then we used to talk about my daughter and what she needs for her hair. Yeah. But the same thing with me now. I know if I don't have a solid 4 hours, that kid's hair is next week. Because it is the story. Yeah. Of how when your mother had time. I saw my mom a few weeks ago. And I had to let her do me a 2 braid. Like all of us, me and my kid and my sister, like, mom, put her here in 2. But I'm telling you, it is the intentionality that gives you the understanding that you are valued. And that's something that as Black women, as we talk about, not understand how undervalued and unappreciated it is, that when you have access, that's what it is. It's really a power of access. That's why at one point, having your hair care done the way you want it felt like a privilege. Yeah. Felt like luxury, but actually it's not. It really isn't supposed to be, because the intentional self-care, the intentional love, the intentional giving of time, the intentional of receiving love, after spending 6 days taking care of this home, this job, this kid, this spouse, your parents, your siblings, all the things. When I sit down with my hair care provider, I want all that love. Like, not my mom doing it anymore, but I want the same intentionality. Yeah. So I want to know that I have access to someone who is, even when I'm not in her shop, in her seat, that she has provided me with the tools. Okay, so listen, you don't want to blow your hair out because, maybe you should get a hooded dryer. Mm-hmm. And while you're the hooded dryer, take some more time for yourself, right? You can't hear these kids in the background, but all of it is like saying, I feel seen. Yeah. And my hair, although I have another kid, although I have someone in my house, I have 2 kids in my house at this point, but 2 different hair textures. Yeah. So I know that this shampoo and this condition, because my family said, like, I'm the one who's been taken care of. And that makes me feel like exactly what it is. You are caring for me. And I think that information is not just going to someone to let me do your hair. Mm-hmm. It is intentionally that this is how I do your hair. This is how, in my absence, like, you don't have to come back to see me, but you can't replicate this feeling. Yeah. And I want you to understand that you're worth the effort, you're worth the time, you're worth the financial investment, you're worth the 3 hours down on the weekend time. Like, you're worth that effort. And this is how I'm going to help you believe that about yourself. Because becoming confident any way you take it. But I want to be armed, like, on a Monday, as I spend the whole weekend washing, cooking, cleaning, folding, and I'm here doing my business. I can say, okay, Monday morning after 8, okay, let's get this thing done based on, and it could be a video that you give me to share. Yeah. And I keep watching over and over and over because having not had it for such a long time, it's almost like sometimes you want someone to hold your hand through it. Absolutely. Like, okay, because when you twist like this, I can't twist like this. I do like this. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard for your curl pattern. Remember, this is how you do it. Yeah. But it's intentionality that makes you know that what you're paying for is more time for yourself. That's what you're paying for. It's not somebody giving you something you didn't need. Because first of all, you didn't even know what you needed when you walked inside here. Mm-hmm. It's because I have expertise and technicality and an understanding of the culture. I can give you that. I want to teach you what I already know in a way that's so bite-sizable and so friendly and so accessible that in between time, Because, and I think, as you mentioned earlier, what I would love to see is that as women, we would create community of care.
Yeah.
Create a
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because you have your nail tech. You know what I'm saying? You have your lashes.
100%.
I want to have my natural textured hair person as a part of my care team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think that helps build a community of women that understand on every version of myself that I show up in the world, I have support.
Yeah.
I have intentional technical support.
Yeah.
This is me watching a YouTube video and learning how to twist
Yeah.
my hair. It's not the same.
Yeah, because it's so amazing as you said that, because why I started the podcast was because my students, my clients at the time, sorry, when I was in Trinidad, said they don't get this quality of information about hair unless they're in my chair. So they almost wanted to hear what would be the conversation I would have with the next woman, right? And that's why I started to do that podcast. Then it was around my students talking about, they're in hair school, but they're not learning textured hair. So they still don't feel seen. And it's like, it's still what fuels me and why I make space and room to have these types of conversations, to put it out there. It's because when a Black woman has to do her hair for herself for 3 hours, as we just capsulated in time, she needs to be supported.
Right.
And I have a client in particular, she watches the same YouTube video every week that she has to do her hair of me essentially moisturizing my hair. She moisturizes her hair as she's seen it happening in the video. She will flat iron her hair as she sees me, then she will wrap her hair the same way. So she watches these 3 videos religiously to do her hair every week. Every week. And it's almost as if she said, Shimilia, this is the only way I feel seen, it's the only way I feel supported. She's like, I moved to a whole nother country, but I still feel like I get you to remind me of the little things that make my hair that much healthier, because I have access to this. I can hear it, I can see it, I can follow along, I could do it piece by piece. I wouldn't rush it, I wouldn't lie down halfway, I wouldn't drop my hair over the bed and say air dry. She said, seeing a woman who looks like me, with a texture like mine, care for herself in this way, encourages me to do the same for myself. She's like, it's almost as if the way you love yourself is the way you're teaching me to love myself.
Permission. It's permission.
100%.
Permission. And I think that, as I mentioned with culture, is that for such a long time, the Black woman, as I said, is so unseen. And the kind of scene we want is slow gazes. Slow, penetrative gazing, because it tells us, apart from all the work that we have to carry, unfortunately, that when I carve out some time, I have a safe place to go. I have a safe place to receive permission to sit for hours, because we have to do some redeeming. We have to do some redeeming from the ideology that if it's not straight and if it's non-Black, then it's a win. If it's not, you know what I'm saying? If it's non-Black, it's a win. And I think we've seen so many laws now passed, like California, I mean, a place about the Crown Act, and it seemed like, hooray, we have one, but we have so far to go, because at best, it is the grassroots. It is your personal stylist that when, after I've seen you and you've given me that one thing that I need, I continue that community. Because I'm telling you, as I said, it's an investment. So the question I would ask myself in trying to facilitate more care is, how much am I willing to pay for redemption?
Yeah.
Because I had colored hair.
Yeah.
Bad colored hair.
Yeah.
I had processed hair. I had bad cream hair. I had bad cut hair. Like, I've had it, hair falling off because it was over processed. I have burns on my ear. Like, how much am I willing to pay to redeem myself? And that might be a monthly visit. That might be videos. That might be having conversations in a community where women are talking as authentically as possible as how do we redeem more of ourselves in community and space that makes us feel more of ourselves.
Yeah.
And sometimes you make it a dollar value issue because it costs too much. But when you're thinking of how much you've lost in not being able to treat yourself right, you're caring for everyone else.
Yeah.
I think when we glorify self-care, it is still having people do things for us. Like somebody do your nails, somebody do your, but for hair care, in a way for the Black woman, it is really an investment. It's not a spending. You're getting more in how you learn authenticity in how you show up in the world. And that for me comes with, if I had a video every week that would teach me as a mom, would teach me, because we're in far different states. Like after I come to see you next couple of weeks to color my hair, it's okay, all right, let's go get this shampoo. And we build a community because now I can shop with my daughter in a way that, okay, we're going through this process. This is what you need for your hair. Okay, let's get you the right bonnet. Let's get you the right white tooth comb. Let's get the right temperature for your hair shampoo. Like all of it. And it's because we want to bridge those gaps.
Yeah.
Between my mom doing my hair because she was frustrated with four girls to hair to comb, but now I want to show my daughter in a way that you have your own status, you have your own process. Like we don't have to do the same things because we've come up much differently now. Because my mom bought one shampoo, my all four of us have different textured hair. When I say different, I mean different. Yeah. When I say different, my sister had like a 2 or 3 wavies thingy. Like she washed and she walks out the door. Yeah. My sister, who is younger than me, so if she don't have 4 hours to do her hair, I'm 3, she's 4.5. Like if you don't have it, don't touch it. But my mom ain't got time to do all of that. Yeah. So in the redemption, how we do our hairs now as girls, my mom could say, like, you guys have the time. And what we do. Yeah. But we have to. Yeah. And have community and having a safe space to create that kind of redemption in how you spend intention to watch the videos, show up on time for your appointments. All of these are redemptive. All of these are, and they're curative in a way that you pass it on, because now your child sees, mom, like, this is undisturbed time. Where for you, I spent 4 hours with you. When you're gone to bed, listen, I can up on these binge watching, doing my hair, and it is such a redemptive moment. Like it's under the dryer. I've never had a dryer since I was probably about 15. I had it last year with you. I went ahead and I bought this thing, can't get to my blow dryer. And I've been through that book that I've been trying not to read, and now I'm here. Here we are. The gift that keeps on giving, because it's more redemptive than I thought. It's more redemptive than I thought. But it's glorious. It's actually glorious.
It is. And for me, like hearing you say it, and like I say, I gave the example of my client who lives in Trinidad right now. It's like, imagine, I am in Florida, you are in Philly, I have a client in Trinidad, I have women looking at my YouTube tutorial in England, and I have a friend from Africa, and it's like these videos, these conversations, it is giving women what they need to feel seen. It is giving them the permission to care for themselves. It is the representation of who they are. And there's nothing more fulfilling to me than allowing a woman or helping a woman or supporting a woman into the fullness of who she is.
Right.
There's nothing more powerful than a Black woman who knows who the hell she is.
Right. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. The permission that will give other women to be themselves is top tier. Permission. Because when I see, like, we're talking about going to the Afropunk show, but when you see these ladies come out in their fullness, after having such a stereotypical way of being the anti-Black woman or being so many other things in society, but when you have community or a caretaker, as it is, that helps you show up in your more authentic self, I think the permission that you get to achieve every other area of care is top tier. It's top tier.
Top tier. It's top tier. Like, these things actually are what fuel me to keep moving forward, and it's probably why it's probably why I stayed in the industry for as long as I am. Because as a Black woman, as a woman, as a woman from the Caribbean, as a woman with melanated skin, the discovery of who I am is the best gift I can give to myself.
Right.
And I am different. I have seen different versions of myself over my life. And I know I will continue to see different versions as I have more experiences, as I get older, as I step into new places, as I take ownership of who I am. And at every stage, I am committed to showing up 100% myself.
Right.
I am leaving no elements of Shimilia behind. Not for somebody else to feel comfortable. Not for somebody else to like, am I taking the air out of the room? No, there's enough air molecules for all of us inside of here. I'm still gonna be me, and we're gonna be great. And you can have a fantastic time because, baby, I'm gonna be me.
And that's the confidence and the permission, right? But what I would say about textured hair care that makes it so unique in a culture that is now generating deepfake and generating AI and many other areas. We're wondering now, like we're almost about to be scattering to find place of authenticity.
Yeah.
Because everything can be replicated so easily.
Yeah.
But I think what you bring to the table is a reminder that we still stand on business when it comes to being ourselves. And we're not into the rush, I'm not into the hype, I'm not into bringing any confusion, that we prefer another way because it's easier, more convenient. Nothing is as convenient as being yourself. Nothing is as convenient as that. There's nothing as convenient because you wake up like this. Yeah. Who do you see in the morning, right? And I think as we begin to move into spaces of doing our own personal work, that's why I said to you, Shimon, it's not the service that you provide that you need to be able to describe. It's not behind the chair, it's behind the face. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just what happens in the 3 or 4 hours that we're here, because what you're emanating is that not only do I know who I am, I know who I serve.
Yeah.
Because it is service. It is service. Like, you are my mother, you are my sisters, I'm my sisters-in-law, you're my nieces.
Yeah.
And I understand why the community has to continue to be a safe place. And I'm entrusted with people. Like, you entrust me with a part of you that not everyone else can do.
Yeah.
And I see that as service to my community.
Yeah.
So that is what, when you ask about the feeling we get, like, what do I do for you? It's not my hair, because I haven't seen you do my hair in months, but that feeling has not left. And that's what we have to bottle and give to people. Like, it's a one-time experience, and it's something I don't want you to have only in one time. Yeah. Let me teach you between now and your next visit why you're a part of who I am. Why? Because it's a continuous service to what I do for people. Because my mom did it for me, and the permission she gave me to explore these is what I want to give another person. And you can give it to your daughter, and you can give it to your coworker, you can give it to your best friend. It's that permission and the audacity. So listen, we can show up without making any adjustments as a means of forgetting.
Yeah.
No, we're not making any adjustments for forgetting, because that is what, and we'll always find space for that. That's why I said sometimes it seems as other things are outpacing us and outpricing us, and no, but people will return.
Yeah.
They will.
Yeah.
They will, because when you see access, visibility, permission, community, authenticity, technicality, intentionality, when you stockpile them, that's what you offer.
Yeah.
That's what I offer. That's what you offer. I don't offer, because you can what? Ma'am, you can buy some box color and top this up. There's enough girlies on YouTube. There's enough. There is enough girlies on YouTube who are doing a really good job.
Yeah.
But we find that even of a post-pandemic world, like we long for care.
Yeah.
From that, like
Yeah.
we can email all we want and Amazon all we want, but it's nothing like going into the store and that lady said, "Woman, put this on, let me see it, girl." And you're like, when you turn around, it's like, "Oh, that's it. Oh, that's it. That's it." That is what even you not even believe it. You believe it.
Yeah.
Because the human care, the healthy human care, will never go out of style. It will never go out of style. Like it will never be outdated because we know we need places of visibility.
Yeah.
And we know we need places of intentionality and permission. We need it. So when you find a place that says, "I see you, not only here right now, but Tarji, on Tuesday, you're going to call me." You didn't say it to me, but I did. I'm like, "Listen to me, girl. I'm video calling you. Okay, you got to see this." Like, there's no way. After Sunday night sleep and Monday night, Tuesday morning back to work, no way. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, get out of town. And that is what I'm investing in, not paying for. That's what I'm investing in. Like, I want to redeem that. And that is what I said you offer, because people need to understand and experience it over and over until we know it's true. Until we know it's true. Because of course we can get it from friends, but when you walk into a place you're not so sure about, and we don't know what we're engaging in when we meet. But when we get up and walk out, and then 3 or 4 or 5 days later, it's still true to us, I think that cannot be replicated. You can't pick it up off the YouTube video. You can't. Because I'm connecting dots in finding language that I didn't know I needed before. I'm connecting dots in how I felt as a little girl when girls are being bullied for their hair, and we're going through all the things, and hair too tight, and hair take too much time and too much energy, and much permit. But now I'm saying, as you are, I have time. I have product. I have technicality. I have simplicity. I have both, because both things can be true. It can be very technical to do, but you don't have to feel like you're being a burden to me, because most moms felt that way. I feel that way with my girls here sometimes. Like, this is a lot of hair. There's a lot of hair, and I don't have the tools to it. But when you add care with tools and access and permission, that's the although it's one thing that you do, it's the bundle. It's a bundle.
I appreciate you, T. I thank you for holding sacred space with me. This conversation it did what it needed to do, baby.
Yep. It's a
We
bundle.
said what we needed to say, and we encapsulated what we needed, guys. So yeah, I appreciate you deeply. Thank you for holding sacred space with me, guys. The conversations will continue. See you guys next time.